Hello and welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. I'm Kevin Christian, your host for the next 30 minutes. And during that time, you're going to meet the 10,000th shopper at a very special store in our area. You'll also learn about the latest recycling efforts at one of our most popular schools. And then you're going to meet the lady who is single-handedly responsible for thousands of science fair projects each year. No doubt that's going to be interesting. Up first, though, volunteers play a huge part of our school's successes each year. For example, dozens of retirees spend time in the classroom helping struggling readers improve their literacy skills. As Joe Hartley shows us, Tutors for Kids not only reward students, but those offering the help, too.
Just in some of our kids, just for an example, just the greater confidence that they have gained by working with him. Their last year's FCAT scores compared to their predictions for this year, some of them have a 2-year growth prediction at this time, which is amazing.
The volunteers from Tutors for Kids are able to make such huge strides by focusing on an individual student's needs, something that's next to impossible for a classroom teacher.
They are able to work one-on-one whenever I don't have a chance sometimes for the special attention, the extra help, and the tutors are able to do that.
He is so self-sufficient, and he's able to just take them and work with them and then move on to the next child, and he calls the next child, and I can continue teaching just whatever it is that I need to get done or whatever it is we're working on. We can just continue right along while he works.
I have a file with their name on it and just all kind of different skills that we need work on. They just pull the children and work however they see best.
The teachers may provide the direction and guidance for the tutors.
He works on specific skills, whatever it is that I've asked him to work on with them. And then he does a little reading comprehension overall. They work on reading a book together. They work on their oral fluency. Pretty much you name it, he's working on with them.
But sometimes the students' mistakes are the best places to begin.
My favorite part is my grades go up. And they're nice when they do it. They say, hey, this is what you got wrong here, we can fix it, and then go on to the next problem. If we have the questions wrong, they'll read the story over with us, and they'll help us answer the questions. And if we don't understand it, they'll help us. If there's big words in it, they'll help us sound it out.
The impact the volunteers have had is obvious.
I would say the biggest change that he's made in my students is their confidence. They have gained an enormous amount of confidence. They are excited about learning, excited about reading, and they're excited when he's walking in the door. I
have to tell them, don't run up to the tutors and knock them down by hugging them, but they're so thrilled every time. And they appreciate the help, and they're really, really learning. And when they come in, they always say, guess what, I made 100 on my test. Or, they know that they're making progress.
Was hot and thick with the small C, salt and bus exhaust.
He helps me read, and he gives us lots of books.
That's thanks to a partnership with First Book.
They receive books from publishers. They could be overruns, they could be books that are not being published anymore, but they're brand new books in the box, and they're free. The only thing that we pay is the shipping cost on those books. We have given out in the 4 years over 9,000 books.
The books are anything from chapter books, which are significant in their length, to reference books to fun books.
Has anybody here read The Lightning Thief? Oh, you have, because this is the author who wrote The Lightning Thief.
We use them as sort of rewards for a progress, rewards for achievement. We also give books to every child in every classroom that the volunteers go in twice a year. Once just before they close for the holidays, and we're getting ready now to close the year, and so they will give out books to each child in the classroom. At the end of the year, since they're going into the next grade, we say let's challenge them a little bit. So if they're in the 3rd grade, maybe we'll give them a little bit harder book to read, and hopefully they will read them.
For many students, these are the first books that are truly theirs, a foreign concept to them and an entertaining one to the volunteers.
Most of the children, when they receive this book, the first thing they want to know is, when are we supposed to return the book? And you say, well, you don't have to return it, it's yours. As a matter of fact, please write your name in the book to show that it's yours. Well, Mr. Russo, we aren't supposed to write our name in books, but it's your book.
When you see their faces, when you give them the book and you tell them that they're their books to keep, that they don't have to return them, they really enjoy that.
A couple of books and a few minutes of tutoring each week may not seem like much, but one student sees it as the basis for his future success.
They help me with everything, all my remediations tests, the ones that I failed, and they help me bring my grades up so I can pass 4th grade and have good grades in 4th grade so I can go to 5th grade, then middle school, high school, and then pass college and get a good education.
Carolyn Rue and Frank Russo founded Tutors for Kids, and they join us now in our studio. First of all, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
The work you're doing is tremendous.
You're welcome.
Let me ask you this. How did you first get the idea for this Tutors for Kids program?
Well, we started 4 years ago, and it was an outcropping from the Altrusa read-in in September. So we went in and we read for 30 minutes, and we realized that 30 minutes is not enough. And so we sort of spread the word a little bit in our community, and we had 6 volunteers that went to Bellevue Santos. We've now grown, this is our 4th year, and we have over 100 volunteers that go into 5 Marion County schools.
Frank, what was the original goal with this program?
Well, the original goal was to try to work with the bottom 25% of students.
Bottom quartile.
And that was in subjects of reading, math, science, and writing. And so we start with the kindergarten and work right through to the 5th grade. And each child receives one-on-one attention, and each child is, we're there at the request of the teacher, who is designated children. So,
how do you sell this kind of an idea to friends and neighbors?
Well, we will speak to anybody who wants us to speak to them. And it isn't a hard sell at all, because we are surrounded in South Marion County by quite a few retirees. And retirees are looking for something to do, and they really see the value in what it is that we're doing. So volunteers are not hard to get.
And obviously this is working.
It obviously is working.
What kind of numbers do you have?
One of the things that we have learned is that in one of our schools, they designated a special time in the media center for the lowest 25% readers in grades 3 through 5. We were able to assign tutors to the media center, and then we were able to actually assign some tutors back into the classroom when they got back to the classroom. The year before, 56% of those students made gains in their FCATs, and the first year that we did that, 76% made gains. So that was a significant. The other way that we know that it's working is that we get feedback, and our tutors get feedback from the teachers about how the students are progressing, how excited they are, and so a lot of it is just ad hoc feedback that we get.
So,
Frank, what's the biggest challenge when going into these classrooms?
I think the biggest challenge for all of us, and we emphasize in our training, which is ongoing constantly with everybody, is to try to figure out what is blocking this child. Sometimes it's their home life is not functioning correctly, and it's being brought into the classroom and the child is just blocked. Other times a child has missed pre-K and K, and all of a sudden finds himself in 1 and 2 and has not the skill set ready yet. And many times it's that they never have been taught some of the little tricks on math and how to find a little word inside of a big word for reading to sound it out that way. So in the training we have to cover multiple of areas so that a tutor will feel comfortable working with a child to try to unblock what's happening to the child.
Now you mentioned this training. What kind of special skills or abilities do you have to take part in this program?
Well, why don't I start? You pick it up. We have 106 tutors, and probably half are teachers and half have never taught in a classroom in their life. So, the most basic elements is, what is happening in today's classrooms. And even some of the teachers haven't been in a classroom for 10 years, and they have to go back and figure out what's happening. And so part of the training is setting the stage for what's happening, and then obviously going in. And the biggest thing we're working at is just not the academic, But for most of our children that are in the bottom 25%, it's character building. It's trying to get
Sure.
children to feel strong, you know, how to be real gritty and how to be real consistent. That's an issue that needs to be addressed.
One of the things that we do in the training is tell them what classrooms are like today, help them to understand what it's like to be in the classroom today, as well as what Frank said about what is happening at each grade level, so that if they went into grade 3, what would be some of the terminology that they would hear the children using, and that they should use the same terminology when they're doing reading. We also give them a sample FCAT test so they know what the children are going to be preparing for, both in reading and in math.
What do you guys get out of this? This is a lot of time, a lot of effort.
Well, you know, personally, there's not a reward other than watching children grow, because you get enough feedback from the tutors and from the teachers. We have tons of emails from teachers talking about how a child is learning to participate in class, learning to do better on their little tests, because we concentrate on not just reading, but then how to understand the reading and then how to answer questions about the reading. So that's measurable, and when you see that, that means that there's some success.
The other thing that we've gotten out of it is that we, for many years, both of us have volunteered in other areas as well. We're both avid readers. We know the importance of reading. And so that's kind of a passion for us, is to be sure that the children can feel that importance for reading as well. And to give them one-on-one attention.
I was going to say, there has to be that personal connection
There
too.
is.
No doubt you guys have connected to many of these kids in personal ways.
Absolutely.
How can our community get even more involved?
Well, we have 30 schools that are looking for help. we only currently work in 5. We'd love to work in 28, 29, or 30, but that's up to people. That, you know, volunteers, we can prepare people, but you need the people to prepare. And so that is part of the mission that we'd like to be on, to try to work with volunteers to get them into schools. Once they're there, we know they're going to love it. Last year we had 53 tutors, 50 finished the year, 3 were sick, 47 returned, and we got over 50 brand new tutors as a result of them just talking about the program.
And we do some publicity as well. In South Marion County, we ran ads, we ran articles in newspapers so that people heard about us, and word of mouth.
Primarily, the schools that you're in right now are in the southern portion of the county.
They are at this point. That's correct.
Obviously, we have elementary schools all over Marion County, as you mentioned, Frank.
And there's 25% in every school that needs assistance.
And you guys are certainly willing to expand out to those other schools. You just need more volunteers.
We're willing to do the training.
People want more information. Is there a best phone number or a best resource that they can call, or should they call their local school?
They can look at our website.
Okay, what's that website?
Tutorsforkidsinc.org.
Tutors, and the number 4?
No.
Tutors, F-O-R.
Kids
Inc., because we're incorporated, .org.
We'll have that on the screen as well so viewers can see that.
And if they need to send an email, it's tutorsforkids@att.net.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I know that you guys have to look forward to these tutoring sessions. Do these sessions take place on a weekly basis, every other day?
One of the questions you asked was what kind of what do people need to do? One of the things that they need to do is make a commitment. And the commitment can be what they want.
Right.
It can be an hour a week, it can be 2 hours a week, it can be a morning. But we do ask them to make a commitment because the teachers start relying on them, on the tutor, and the students rely on the tutors. So
Absolutely.
that is the commitment that someone needs to make. But we also recognize, and the teachers recognize as well, that things happen. You know, people get sick, people take vacations, and everybody understands that.
No doubt those students look forward to your coming back to those classrooms.
They do.
You're probably the brightest spot for many of those kids. Grandma and Grandpa, maybe they don't have one, and they've got one that comes in and reads to them.
Exactly.
Again, thank you guys for what you do, for making the difference for our
You're
kids.
welcome.
You're welcome.
Each and every day.
It's a wonderful thing.
It sounds like it is. Thanks.
It is. It's fun.
Well, the classroom is also the focus for Tools for Teaching, our teacher store at the Public Education Foundation of Marion County. Now, that store is closed for the summer, but gearing up for a brand new school year, and you might be able to help. Watch this.
If you look at the teachers that are coming in here and you put a price to what we're doing, I think it's fair to say that $50 to $80 every time a teacher comes in, if they look at what they're taking out for free, they're spending that or not spending that out of their pocket. So they're saving money, and in this economy, everyone is suffering. Children especially are suffering, and it's nice to be the teacher that can help the child. And it's also nice to be able to keep a little bit extra money in my pocket.
The bad economy actually helped David Steffi get his idea off the ground. When a party supply business shut its doors, the inventory was donated to Tools for Teaching. Since then, many businesses have contributed, sometimes when they go under, but also when they're bought out, change names, or are overstocked, as was the case when Signature Brands recently donated literally tons of Easter and Halloween decorations, requiring the district's warehouse crew to make several trips to get it all.
I say thank you. We would not be here without them. Having said that, I say help us more. There are many places that still could give. Again, we're not looking for things off the shelf. We're looking for things that were taken off the shelf to be discarded. We need the basics. We need things for teachers, pencils and papers, but we also need things, incentives, little things, a water bottle, or maybe a sweatband, or a basketball, something like that. The things that stores aren't using anymore, or they're low in inventory and they're about ready to write out of stock. We need those things here.
Because the store relies on donations, the amount and type of inventory fluctuates. Right now, some areas are empty, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Maybe good today because we're at the end of the season and we have to inventory everything. But if we don't get donations this summer, when we open up in August, the shelves are going to be bare still. So again, we're looking, we're always looking. We would hope that people would spread the word. If they own a business, where they work, the things that people are getting rid of, think of us first before you discard it, because it might be something that we could put in the hands of our teachers to put in the hands of our students.
The store just celebrated a milestone event, its 10,000th shopper in just 3 short years. Catalina Freeman from Osceola Middle School is that lucky teacher, and we followed her around during her big shopping experience to find out just how much of a difference the store really makes. What kind of things are you looking for today?
Well, always the basics, pencils, erasers, paper, glue, crayons.
Never have enough of this?
Never, ever, ever. Not even the one limit is enough, literally. And actually, I get to grab 2 today because I have a coupon to get a double visit. So I'm not being bad, I promise. Glue, I get to take 2. This is awesome. And crayons. Oh, that's 3.
What are you looking for? What are you able to check off the list?
Again, the basics, because they always need pencils and erasers. But sometimes prizes, because we do the positive behavior. So I like to get little prizes because we have chief change, folders, sometimes thank you cards. I mean, really anything, decorations, icing on the rare icing day, candy after Halloween is nice. I'll take anything I can get, to be quite honest. Expo markers are good too, but I don't think I see any today. Are these Expo? Oh yeah, these are dry erase markers. I like the pretty colors. Limit is 1, but I'm taking 2. Because I can double. Again, paper clips. This is like the housekeeping things I'm doing today a little bit. It is the end of the year and I'm starting to run out of everything. These are great. The kids always need pencils and I'm allowed to take 2, so I'm taking 2 packs. Anytime I see pencils, I grab them wherever section they're in because I swear I don't know what they do with them. And whiteout also is important with them. Middle schoolers like to write in pen when they shouldn't. Like again, I said with the positive behavior system, they they will buy anything with their chief's change, even gel icing. I mean, I don't know why they would, but I guess they eat it. I try not to think about that part, but they will do it. So I can take 10 of these So I'm gonna take 10. I might return those for these. These are bigger. I can sell them for more Chiefs change. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put, oh, I get to take double, remember? All right. Tissues, oh my gosh, you can never run out. Tissues and pencils, I swear, you can never run out. I mean, you can never do without, you're always out of them. And it's cold season, so they're always blowing their noses. I would say my favorite discovery was when they had candy. Candy's really expensive. And they had I think it was after Halloween, they had huge bags of candy that I know cost like, I don't know, they cost like $8 a piece. And you were allowed to take 2. It's awesome. Because I try to give candy for a computer program we use. If they get an 80% and above, it's their incentive. They get 1 little piece. So that was my by far favorite discovery. The icing is the weirdest that they love the most. What I like the most about Tools for Teaching is this stuff. It's the things that I have to buy no matter what that I don't have to buy. The other stuff, that's a bonus.
If you'd like more information on Tools for Teaching, contact the Foundation office at 671-4167. Again, that number, 671-4167. Tools for Teaching recycles 100% of what it receives, and now our district and schools also recycle on a grand scale. Students at Dr. N.H. Jones Elementary are leading the way and getting lots of attention for their efforts. Here's Tom Lauder with that story.
So many of our resources are becoming scarce these days, but an initiative by the Marion County Public Schools has one school in Marion County collecting and in the green spotlight.
These kids are naturally earth-friendly, and what I think happens when we institute a program like this is that they realize that what they see is very important already. It now gives them an action that they can put into play. And so I think what happens with a program like this in a school is that it allows the kids to take what they already know, which is that this earth is all we get, and to do something about it. And it's really a shame that adults can't seem to see it that way, but I think kids are just naturally willing to do what's right. And I think this just gives them a mechanism to get started. And I know a lot of my students are much better recyclers. The families are better at home now than they were before because the kids have, they're like, look, this is single stream recycling. This is all we have to do is separate our recyclables from our trash. Let's do that. It's so simple.
Well, we haven't done it the past years. This is the first year. And it's necessary because you get to help the earth instead of just throwing away everything, because that's what we did in the previous years.
Such things like plastic bottles are being used to make jeans.
We recycle all the paper and water bottles and stuff like that in this big, huge dump. And how I started the program was when my friend Leslie needed help in the front office recycling because they recycle a lot of paper. I was chosen to go and help her.
Not only that we could help our city and give back to it, it's just that we get to we get to help our school recycle. And like for the past years, this is the first year we've done this, and it's been very exciting because we can see all that has been recycled, and we could keep on doing it and give back to the community.
Just what are these students learning about recycling?
Instead of just like if you put like a piece of paper or a water bottle in the trash can, what you can do if you recycle it, you can turn it into something new so then it's not left in the dumps.
Understand that recycling gives back to the community, and not only that, but we can make new things out of it and create more things that we don't have, or that we have limited supply of.
Why are our limited and depleting resources important enough for these students to take it upon themselves to learn the right way to recycle?
It's important because we only have one Earth, and we need to make sure we're taking care of it because there's no second chance.
District-wide, we have over 3,200 blue buckets earmarked for recyclable materials, and the program is already saving thousands of dollars throughout the district. Well, thousands of students benefit from the summer feeding program. It's a continuation of the meal offerings many of them receive during the regular school year. Anyone up to 18 years old can show up at any of the participating schools for breakfast, lunch, and an afternoon snack without a cost. Here's a look at the schools taking part in this summer's feeding program.
For more than 34 years, the Marion County Public Schools Summer Feeding Program has been providing nutritionally balanced meals without a charge to a student who wants to eat. Last year in Marion County, the program served over 100,000 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinners, and afternoon snacks. Children 18 and under are eligible for the program, and at most sites, no application or income information is necessary to qualify. The children simply show up and eat. This year, starting June 10th and running until August 1st, the following 18 central kitchens are providing meals on various schedules to 12 satellite locations throughout Marion County. For more information, please contact the School Food Service Office at 352-671-4190 or visit their website at www.whyhunger.org/find food.
If you have any questions, you can always call your local school or the District Food Service Office at 671-4190. Again, that number is 671-4190. Each month we try to showcase one of our employees who truly loves what they do for our students every day. So this month we want you to meet Jacqua Ballas. Now she's known as the Science Fair Queen Bee because she coordinates the regional science fair for thousands of aspiring chemists, engineers, and lots of other science-based careers.
We're here today at the Big Springs Regional Science Fair. It is a tri-county science fair. 3 counties are involved. Students will show their projects. They will speak to judges. We've had 2 days of judging. This is our 2nd day of judging. And we have a big award ceremony tonight where we'll be giving away ribbons, certificates, and lots of cash prize awards to our students. Science is my true passion. I've been a science educator for many, many years. I taught in the classroom for over 25 years. I've been at the district almost 10 years coordinating science programs. And I feel that my job as the district science specialist really allows me to reach all the 43,000 students that we have here in Marion County and to really touch them with the passion of science that I have myself. I've always loved science. I went to school here in Marion County Public Schools and I was inspired to learn about science from my teachers here in Marion County. And my goal is, by being able to coordinate the science program here, to have great science instruction for all of our students here in Marion County.
Thanks, Jackie, for impacting the lives of so many of our students throughout the school year. Well, he too impacts our community as the leader of Marion County Public Schools. So here's George Tomyn in this month's Superintendent Spotlight.
As a teacher and administrator, my 2 most favorite days of the school year are the first day of school and the last day of school. Both are exciting for very different reasons. We've just experienced the last day of school for many of our students for school year 2012-2013, and what a great school year it was. We graduated many students from Marion County Public Schools who will be going on to their next walk of life, whether it be going on to college, technical school, entering the world of work. We know that they are well prepared for that journey. Our middle school students are excited because they're now ready to go on to high school, and many of our elementary schools are now moving to the middle school arena. Teachers have had a great year also, and we hope that our teachers spend their summertime getting prepared and refreshed for next year. We do offer a lot of staff development for our teachers over the summer months, and we know they'll be excited about attending many of those trainings. Teachers will also be relaxing during the summer months and gearing up for a busy school year in 2013-2014. Students, likewise, we will be participating in many fun activities over the summer. Some relaxing, some very challenging. Students will be attending camps, church camps, other meetings and organizations. They'll be traveling with their families, and I certainly hope that they have a wonderful and safe time in doing that. We're excited about getting ready for 2013-2014. We're excited about the programs we'll be offering to your students and to our students here in Marion County. We wish you well for the summer. Have a safe time, and we'll see you back in August.
Thanks, Mr. Tomyn, and thank you for watching today. We hope you've learned something, and we hope you'll join us again right here on the Classroom Connection. Until then, parents, remember, be there for your child every day.